Thank you all for joining. We have Laces BC head coach Andrew Wade, and we will go ahead and get started with any questions, unless Andrew, you wanted to start with any top line comments or anything about coming back this season.
Yeah, thank you, Tish, and thank you everyone for being here. Super excited for year two. Definitely a new look roster this year, which is going to present some really fun ideas. And yeah, just super excited for this season and really great to see some familiar faces.
We'll go ahead and get started with Aya.
It's Aya.
Ah,
It's
yeah, my bad, sorry.
nice to talk to you. It's Aya Abdeen for Ball is Life. So when you get to coach Alyssa Thomas for the second consecutive year, how how do you get the community to communicate with her and continue building that team chemistry as well?
Yeah, AT is one of my favorite athletes I've ever coached, truthfully. And you guys have heard me preach it all last year, but I'm a big relationships guy. And so I really approach it from a standpoint of just trying to understand her as a person first. And then we kind of peel back the layers and, get to know her as a basketball player and a competitor and an athlete. And so um, understanding who she is, what she's about, what her family's about, all that kind of stuff was super important for me. And so, thankfully we've now formed this relationship where, I'm able to be or hold her accountable, and she's able to kind of provide feedback that she's feeling and things that she's seeing on the floor. And, I just try and empower her and enable her to be the best version of herself at all times. And, again, she's one of the best athletes and fiercest competitors I've ever coached. And so really fortunate to just be around her greatness every single day.
And another question coming from me, especially with the type of season Alyssa has had in her first year with the Phoenix Mercury. I'm just curious, what have you seen from her, and especially with the 8 triple doubles she's had this
Mhm.
season?
Yeah. It's funny is we all saw it, but Phoenix ran they call it flat, but the inverted pick and roll so much this season, and it gave so many teams trouble. And I'm sure those who were here last year remember that was a big part of our offense as well. And um, just her versatility. I mean, she's one of the best screeners in the league, but just the ability for her to handle in a pick and roll, and just the gravity that she has, right? And she can kind of wiggle her way and spin her way to the rim, or just straight up bully her way to the rim. And you're either going to guard it one on one, or you're going to send some extra bodies and help. And that's when she, just becomes this elite playmaker and passer. And so she is one of the most underrated athletes, in my opinion, of all time. And I've just got so much respect for her because of how she impacts the game.
Thank you.
We'll go to Courtney.
Hey, good afternoon, Coach Wade. How you doing today?
Good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too again, once again. Just got two questions, two-part question. First one, how did you approach this season building the laces, first and foremost? And the second question is, with all the new teams and reshuffling and all this great talent now, more talent within Unrivaled, what is the biggest challenge opportunity for your team this season as well?
Yeah, when I was kind of building out this roster, great questions, by the way.
Thank you.
I was really looking for competitive nature, high character people in the locker room, and truthfully, speed and athleticism. And so, obviously adding Brittany Sykes, Jordan Canada, Nas Hillman, you know, three really explosive, in my opinion, some of the most explosive athletes in our league. That became a priority, right? And then the competitive nature piece, great in the locker room, right? Maddie's reputation around this league is she's a phenomenal person, phenomenal teammate, and the ultimate competitor. And so, you kind of combine that with our two returners in Jackie and AT. I'm just extremely confident in this group. And so, to kind of answer your second question, the most difficult part, um, we've kind of got this feeling that we're a little overlooked. And so, right, it's just showing up and doing the job. And it's a rush to connect the group, right? We all saw that last year with how short the season is. So whatever team can build the best cohesion the quickest is going to have, the most success. And so just really looking forward to that challenge this year. Again, it's just a new group of players. Last year I had a ton of veterans. This year I've got a good mix of both. And so really looking forward to that challenge.
All right, thanks. And best of luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nikias.
All right, Coach. I hope you're doing well, first and foremost. Just wanted to ask, what are some things that you've learned over the past year plus of basketball?
It's a great question. Um, I would say trust the process. I get that's a cliche, but there are so many moments where you may not see, kind of the light at the end of the tunnel, or you're chipping away at this one thing, one specific part of the player's game, and you don't really see the progress until maybe week 4, 5, and 6, and then it's just like this massive breakthrough. And so, I've been really fortunate, obviously, with the liberty to work with some amazing athletes, and then obviously at Unrivaled with the Laces, um, and just being able to build players' skill sets and build their confidence is that's probably the best part about coaching, is impacting players' lives. And so, that's something I would say more philosophical. And then tactically, don't be afraid to go crazy coverage wise. I think in the W this year, and obviously on Rival too, we saw just a variety of ball screen coverages, and just the willingness of coaches to try different schemes really excites me. And I kind of like where this trend is going.
Got you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sophie?
Hi, Coach. Great to meet you. Sophie here with the Ballers Magazine. I wanted to ask, with this being your second season at Unrivaled, what is one aspect of the identity of your team from last season that you liked that you want to carry over into this season?
A great question as well. I would say our competitive nature. I just think it's innately who we were as a group last year, and in the first iteration of the Laces. Obviously Jackie, AT, who are returning, but K-Mac, Tip Hayes, Kate Martin, Steph, like those were some ultimate competitors. And so, the thing I really admired about that group is they all had won it at some level as well. And so, whether it was the semifinal game or just a shooting drill in practice, the compete factor was always extremely high. And, if you guys have been to one of my practices, I like the gym loud. I like energy in the gym. And that was kind of what I was looking for with this group as well. Again, it's there's less vets in this group, so maybe not as accomplished as far as winning and accolades, but that competitive fire and that drive is very much there. And I think that's probably what excites me the most, is just competitive nature.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Chris?
Thank you. Hey, Coach. Nice to meet you. So, in your experience, how does the 3-on-3 format help players strengthen their weaknesses and elevate their skill sets, both coming from 3-on-3 Unrivaled last year and then into the W season?
It's so unique, right? And the 3-on-3 format is so different from 5-on-5. And we can talk about the lack of help defenders and all that kind of stuff. And what I saw the most is just the ability to attack closeouts and offensively, right? Get downhill, make reads one-on-one, and then defensively, just truthfully, just guarding the ball. And it's such an underrated skill. You watch any league, right? Euro League, NBA W, G League. The last 8 seconds of a shot clock, you're basically playing one-on-one, right? And so it's can you break your defender off one-on-one, and can you just straight up guard the ball? And it makes for a really entertaining league at Unrivaled because you get a ton of that. And I just think that's where you see the biggest leaps in players' games is, their off the bounce creation, their ability to just recognize closeouts on the fly. So those kind of like quick decision making, but also again just one-on-one, guarding the ball or attacking the closeout.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
And it looks like last one from Nathan, unless anyone else has a question, but we'll go to Nathan first.
Thank you. Hey, Coach. Coach Wade, welcome back. Good to see you again. So I got two questions for you. The first thing, what is it going to be like coaching Maddie? Because I always love their game coming out of Villanova, and she's doing great things with the Dallas Wings, and now she's going to bring her game to this Unrivaled league. So talk about what's it like going to put her on the court and implement her style of the game, and talk about that. And also, what do you like about the young talent now in the W and also in the Unrivaled League?
Yeah, on your first part, I'm super excited to coach Maddie, and it's so funny is I followed her career all the way throughout Villanova, and obviously her first few years in Dallas, and I know she battled a little bit of injury at the front end of the season. But if you look at her stats at the second half of the season, they were unbelievable, right? And so I'm really excited to just kind of continue to build some momentum with her. I just spoke with her last week, and she's in a really good spot, and her body's feeling great. She's on the court working, and so really looking forward to just again building in this off season with her. There's so much you can do with her. She can handle in a pick and roll, or she can be a screener. You can post her up, and so really exploring ways to get the ball to her in her spots is going to be a lot of fun. Um, and then the second part was, on the young talent and the W and then Unrivaled. It's awesome. I've been in women's sports I just finished year 7. And the future has never looked this bright, truthfully. And a large part of that is because of just the generations that are coming up next. And it's so encouraging to see. It's amazing to see the support of it. Um, and then another cool thing is just like following players' careers, like, right, kind of like I just referenced with Maddie,
Yeah.
from later years of high school into college and now, right, the early stages of their pro careers. Um, there's probably dozens of athletes that I've kept tabs on since then, and now to see them and really prepare against them now and coach against them or coach them myself is it's a really full circle moment. So it's super cool.
Yeah, thank you, Coach. Good luck this season. I can't wait to see it.
Thank you.
We'll go back to Nikias.
Just another quick one for you, Coach. Who are some teams or different coaches that you kind of look for to kind of add to your knowledge bank?
Great question. Be remiss if I didn't say Becky. I think she's at the forefront of that. Nate in Phoenix, another one. On the NBA side, I'm a big fan of Jamal Mosley in Orlando. Ime Udoka in Houston. Finchy. So I think like there's so many ways I kind of pull inspiration from, either schematically, offensively, right, X's and O's wise, or defensively coverages. But then also just the way they carry themselves, the way that they, kind of tailor their messaging and coach the group. Um, I think there's too many to count, but off the top of my head, those are some of the ones that I really admire. And then even here in Brooklyn, right, I'm really fortunate to know Jordy and the net staff, Mufon Udofia with the Long Island net staff. And so I think everyone on this call, we're all hoops junkies. And so really anywhere that there's a coach speaking, I'm listening, whether it's a podcast or a post-game presser on YouTube, just trying to learn as much as I can.
Got you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aya.
Hey, Coach, it's good to talk to you once again. How you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty well. So I have another question about Jackie Young, and like she has been pretty phenomenal, especially through the finals. How are you looking forward to getting the opportunity to coach not only Alyssa Thomas but also Jackie Young once again?
Yeah, I was waiting for a Jackie question. I mean, Jackie's the truth. She is coming off one hell of a W season, and I think we all saw just the competitive nature, that I've been speaking about. For them to start the way that they did and rally, obviously it was a collective effort, but it was Asia, Jackie, and Chelsea at the forefront of that, and so I think she's shown so much growth in her game as well, right? Like her ability to spot up and knock down catch and shoot threes, playing pick and roll, but particularly like finishing and playmaking, passing with her left hand. I think that took a huge leap this year. And if you watch the finals, right, and you can see Phoenix, icing a lot of her pick and rolls and trying to send her left on closeouts or in mid picks. And she's shown just an ability to handle that and, really rise through that. And then obviously defensively, I think she's one of the sharpest minds in the W. So again, very similarly to AT, when they're out there on the floor, I'm relying on them as much as they're relying on me for, what they're seeing, how they're feeling, and so forth. And so it's really unique that we just kind of have this trust with each other, and I'm extremely grateful for it. And just can't wait to get down there and coach her again this year.
Good talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you.
And last one from Courtney.
Great, thanks. Just a fun one here, just to end it. Who are your top 5 women's basketball players of all time? Put you on the spot.
That's a question right there. And in no order. In no
No
order
order.
at all. Sylvia Fowles, Elena Deladon, because I coached her in Washington.
hmm
Now I'm picking my favorites here. I'm going to list all the athletes I coached. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Stewie, Sab, and JJ. Again, all people I've been around, except for Sylvia Fowles. I came into the league when she was at the tail end of her career, and just had so much admiration and respect for what she did for this league. I want to list a few more names if that's okay. I'm going to say Maya,
Yeah.
Candace, Cheryl. And then I'm going to throw Christy Tolliver in there as well, because that's another one of them of my favorites. So I think I was pretty biased there and picking a lot of former players I coached, but they're all they're all some of my favorites. So yeah, I think it'd be impossible to nail down a top 5.
Well, that roster there would win a championship, I'm sure. So
Many.
you put that together, many of them. So, all right, thanks for that. We
Yep.
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Coach. That'll conclude your media avail for now. And our next one will start in about 13 minutes. So thank you all so much.
Thank you, guys.
Have a good one. Thank you.